Hey guys, Mark Rober here. Ever built a giant dartboard or a glitter bomb but then got totally stuck on a line of code? Yeah, me too. We've all been there, desperately typing our coding woes into the search bar, praying for Stack Overflow to save the day. But what if we had to survive without it? That's right, I decided to quit Stack Overflow cold turkey for a whole week. Why torture myself, you ask? Well, I realized I'd become a bit too reliant on SO. My coding process was basically code, error, Stack Overflow, repeat. Not exactly the recipe for becoming a coding ninja, right? So I decided to challenge myself, push my limits, and see if I could actually, for myself. Day one started with a surge of confidence. I got this, I thought, brimming with misplaced optimism. I've coded enough to handle this. Oh boy, was I wrong. The moment I hit my first real snag, panic set in. Suddenly, I was a lost puppy, wandering aimlessly through lines of code with no Stack Overflow to guide me back home. Remember that feeling when your perfectly logical code just doesn't work? Yeah, multiply that by 100. Without my trusty SO crutch, every error message felt like a personal attack. My carefully crafted code started to look like a jumbled mess, and my confidence plummeted faster than a glitter bomb from a drone. Okay, so no Stack Overflow. Fine. I'll just read the documentation, right? Sounds simple enough, but let me tell you, it's like navigating a maze, blindfolded, while riding a unicycle. Pages and pages of technical jargon, abstract concepts, and cryptic explanations. It was enough to make my head spin faster than one of my squirrel-tical courses. I spent hours deciphering sentences that seemed to be written in some ancient forgotten language. And don't even get me started on the examples. They were either too simple to be helpful or so complex that they made my brain melt. It was official. I was lost in documentation despair. Section 4. Respect for the coding pioneers. They did what? As I struggled through my week-long Stack Overflow detox, I couldn't help but think about the coding pioneers, the ones who built the foundations of the digital world we know and love. These legends coded without the internet, without Stack Overflow, without even Google. Can you imagine? It's mind-boggling. They relied on thick textbooks, scribbled notes, and sheer brainpower. They debugged code line by line, painstakingly searching for errors. And they built incredible things. Operating systems, programming languages, the very first video games, all without the instant gratification of a Stack Overflow solution. Talk about dedication. It made my little experiment seem like a walk in the park. Section 5, Eureka, the joy of debugging, almost on my own. Just when I was about to throw in the towel and surrender to my Stack Overflow addiction, something amazing happened. I was wrestling with a particularly nasty bug, the kind that makes you want to launch your computer out the window. But this time, instead of immediately resorting to Stack Overflow, I took a deep breath and decided to really about the problem. I reread the error message, traced back my steps, and carefully examined each line of code. And then, it hit me. I spotted a tiny typo, a missing semicolon that had been causing all this chaos. I fixed it, ran the code, and bam! It worked. The feeling of accomplishment was incredible, like I had just solved a complex puzzle with my own two hands. Section 6. Level up your coding, ditch the crutch, embrace the challenge. That moment, my friends, was a turning point. I realized that while Stack Overflow is an amazing resource, relying on it too heavily can actually hinder our growth as programmers. It's like using a calculator for every math problem. Sure, it gives you the answer, but it doesn't help you understand the underlying concepts. Coding without Stack Overflow, even for a short period, forced me to slow down, think critically, and develop my problem-solving skills. It pushed me to dig deeper, understand the fundamentals, and find solutions on my own. And you know what? It was tough, but it was also incredibly rewarding. Section 7. Join the movement. 1 week, no Stack Overflow, all growth. So, I challenge you, my fellow coding enthusiasts, to join me in this experiment. Ditch the Stack Overflow crutch for just 1 week. I know it sounds daunting, maybe even a little scary, but trust me, it's worth it. You'll be amazed at what you can accomplish when you push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Who knows, you might even surprise yourself with your own coding ingenuity. And hey, if you get really stuck, you can always come back to Stack Overflow after the challenge, but I bet you won't need to as much as you think. So, are you in? Let's do this.